Hello everybody, I'm Derek Anderson, along with Jeff Clay here in the booth. Coming back from our third break, Jack Cronin continues to lead the train around the track, heading into turn 1 as he's on the inside line. And Keith Davis seeing what his car is capable of, getting drafted by Kyle McCardinal in the number 6 Gillette car.
You know, that lap traffic is going to play another big role in this race. You know, we have 10 to go right now on lap 51 of 60. And, you know, it isn't like Daytona to have lap traffic, but today we've had a ton.
You know, ever since the big one, guys have just been stranded in little groups around the track, and the fast leaders have always been able to catch them, and it splits them up, and that's what creates more packs around the track. And speaking of the big one, we have an update on the injury about Louis Teles, who drove the number 12 Walmart car. He's involved in the big one earlier, had a nasty barrel roll. He is alright, except he has some minor bruising to his left arm. Hoping for the best for him, and it's good that he was not more seriously injured, because that was a bad crash.
Indeed it was. You know, we always have some terrible accidents each year in the AERS, but, you know, we haven't had that bad of an injury in a while. The worst injury we've had in the AERS was when it was back called the JN Racing Series. We had a driver named, I can't remember his name. His last name was Bettman. I wasn't following. Gary Bettman. What's the NHL commissioner? Wow. But, you know, the numbers, it was 01, Budweiser, King of Beer's car. I know I wasn't commentator for the series, as Jerry Richland goes by Kenny Gerald's for the lead. But I wasn't following the series back then, but I saw it a few times. You know, he died in a crash at Talladega. That was back around 1998, I believe. But that was the worst thing that's ever happened to a driver in the AERS.
Anyway, Jerry Richardson, number 54. Out to a huge lead is Darian Manor and James Proctor now straight some lapped cars, holding up some of the leaders, and Richardson car very good out in fresh air, and right now that's where his car is. That's where his car likes to be, and you know, it just seems to be when he's in a group, his car does not perform it just doesn't compare to how it does when it's in open air, and I don't know why, but that's just the way the way the car is for some reason, and you can see he's holding his own pretty well. But these guys are going to catch him. Landon Rohde, Jack Cronin, they're going to catch him, and then when he gets up, you know, right here, they're going to catch him, and Jack Cronin may even lead this lap. And look at him, right as I say it, his car just does not work well in a draft with other guys. His car seems to like fresh air, and it does not happen too often, especially in places like Daytona, since you're running in a draft.
We see Todd Kinsen in the 21 GM Chevrolet. He was involved in that accident. The second caution of the day with James Proctor and Darian Manor. He's going to get out of the way. Todd Kinsen's a good driver. He'll get out of the way of these cars.
You know, he had some complications earlier with Fred Jones getting sent to the hauler after this race because he was holding up drivers as they were going around the track and costing them valuable track position.
We are being notified that it's probably going to be a qualifying race, qualify time suspension. So the qualifying race will be suspended. He will have to start last. And look at that. As we are speaking of him, this time he's going to get out of the way.
Yeah, you know, but now he's holding up Richardson, and that is just, I mean, why? I don't. Really, Jeff, I don't understand. Wow, we've got trouble. Kinsen gets into Alex Yates, and Yates, man, just blew the engine right as he smacked the wall, and better get that car quickly to pit road because it looks like that has some potential to leak some fluid.
That was not Todd Kinsen. That was Kyle McCardinal. It doesn't matter. No caution. We don't really need to talk about it if it's not a caution. Kyle McCardinal, you can tell he wanted to get away from Alex Yates in the 88. The 88 was not performing as good as the 6 car, and the 6 just had nowhere to go and ran it right into the rear end of the 88, sent him up the racetrack and blew his motor.
Well, Kenny Gerald's leading right now, and with 4 laps to go, Kenny Gerald's leading wide open there, but he's not Jerry Richardson. His car does not perform well out when he doesn't have draft, and look who's in third. Sean Glossum, number 09, sponsored by Miller Lite and Aflac. That man, his father died on Thursday, and we talked to him earlier. I talked to him earlier today, and I said, I asked him, who, if he could win this race, who would he dedicate it to? And of course, the obvious answer, he wants to dedicate it to his father. His father's helped him a lot in his racing career, and getting into the Amp Energy Series, he was very proud of him. And but he did end up passing away this past Thursday. Glossum continues to lead. His car likes the high side, but here comes Jonathan Ringer, and then the number 43 getting drafted by Landon Rhodey, and there's 3 laps to go. And now crossing the line, 2 laps to go, and this is going to be a shootout to the finish. I have no idea who's going to win this. It's between any one of those cars right now, Jeff.
Back onto the Lake Glossum topic. Lake, what's his father's name? Lake competed in 2 ARS events, both of them being in the Daytona 250. He finished 34th and 40th. Not the best racer, but born in 1935 to 2009, and we've got side-by-side racing all right at the front.
And look what you were talking about, Jeff. Lap vehicles playing a huge role in this race, and it looks like it's going to play an even bigger role for the finish, because we've got Justin Pisani, Luke Burtson, Cody Lochner, and we're heading to the white flag. I have no idea who's going to win this thing. We've got Glossum, we've got Landon Rhodey, we've got Jonathan Ringer, Jack Cronin, and Kenny Geralds, all who have potential to win this race, and it is up to anyone right now. And Justin Pisani, Luke Burtson, like I said, Cody Lochner, all lapped cars, but man, Glossum has the edge right now over Ringer.
Ringer was your pole sitter. He's been really quiet today, but same for Sean Glossum, 2 guys battling for the win, both being very quiet.
I do not know who is going to win this one here, Jeff. This is what it comes down to. Justin Pisani, Luke Burns, and Cody Lochner don't know where to go. It's going to be between Glossum and Ringer. Glossum has the edge. It's going to be Sean Glossum winning his first ever Daytona race. And what a finish it is. 3 wide all the way down to the wire, and he dedicates this one to his dad. Thank you, boys! Yeah! Yeah, Cody! Listen to the celebration. He is very happy. Ringer close to winning this one, but too far.
We're going to have an interview with Kenny Geralds once they head down into pit. Wow. Sean Glossum going to do his burnout, and we're going to talk to Kenny Geralds. Kenny, I don't know what to say. That was a great race, but how did the lap cars play into a role?
Well, those lap cars they get in the way a lot, and but it was a good finish. Congratulations, Sean Glossum. I know his father passed away earlier this Thursday, and just congratulations to him. And we just didn't have the winning car today, but we had a top 5 one, and just want to thank all the fans for coming out here.
Your car led a lot of laps. How did the fresh air? Forget it. We're almost out of time here. So you can see the full results at ampenergyracing.4menco.com. Congratulations to number 09, Sean Glossum, and his team.
I'm Derek Ansoff, Jeff Klinger signing off for Daytona. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.